I purchased over 50 lip liners across all different price points so you can get a good understanding of how these formulas are different and what's going to work best for your specific style and preferences. I've categorized this video by brand in alphabetical order from A to Z, and at the end I'll let you know what all my favorites are and what products I'll be keeping. First up is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Long-Lasting Velvety-Matte Lip Liner in Muted Mauve. This is $22 and the website says it's a full pigment lip liner that gives precise shaping, contouring, and payoff worthy of ABH's name. Glide on its creamy, not shiny or slippery formula for a velvet matte finish, or wear all over for long-lasting velvety matte lips. This formula is nice for a classic pencil formula. It definitely has a little bit of that creaminess, and I would say it does set to a semi-matte finish. But overall, I found it to be a little bit forgettable, but that might be the shade that I got. I really didn't think it was anything special. If I use MAC's classic pencils as a reference point, it's definitely creamier than those, which is good, but on its own, it does still feel a little bit drying to me. One thing I do like about it is that it doesn't set all the way down, so there's still a tiny bit of emollients. Like if you rub your lips together, it doesn't feel super tight and dry. But frankly, I couldn't find a shade that really worked for me, and that's surprising because there are a lot of colors in this range. Muted mauve really doesn't look like much of a mauve on my cool skin. I have cool undertones and skin that's in between fair and light, so on me, it doesn't really look like a muted mauve. It's one of the most difficult colors to describe in this video. There's like a little bit of beige, a little gray, there's a little mauve, there's also a little peach. It's not really like anything else that I own, but interestingly, when it's swatched on the hand, it looks really peach. So it's a little bit of a shapeshifter. I just feel like it looks different according to what lighting I'm in. But I also ordered this on Ulta and my package arrived like absolutely deformed and a quarter of the pencil was missing. So I did end up returning it back to Ulta because so much of the product was missing. But I can see why people like these. Kind of like that nice, standard, middle of the road, Goldilocks formula that's like not too drying, not too creamy, and it comes in a lot of colors, which is great. I just personally think for $22, there are far better options in this video. Next up, we have the Bodyography Lip Pencil in Barely There. This is just $11, and the website describes this as an antioxidant lip pencil that glides on like your favorite lipstick with precise pigment-rich color to frame, fill in, and define the lips. And it's enriched with coconut oil and vitamin E. So this is a classic pencil lip liner that is quite similar to MAC, but a fraction of the price. And it's not quite as drying as MAC, but it is still a little bit drying to me. You're not gonna get much glide or creaminess from this, but that's okay because not everybody's looking for that. And for $11, I think it's a really solid option. Barely There is also really nice because it's so difficult when you have light skin to find a nude lip pencil that's not too dark and not too warm. And while it's definitely on the warm side, I think it's a really nice option for someone who feels like most lip liners are too bright, too saturated, or too deep. Moving on, we have the Chanel Longwear Lip Pencil in 162 Nude Brun and 164 Pivoine. So these are $35. And the website says they're an ultra long wearing lip pencil with a soft, creamy texture designed in colors that correspond to the house's lipstick shades. This sensorial formula glides on to create a sharp and precise semi-matte line that lasts all day long. I totally agree with the claims in the description of the product. It's very creamy at first, very pigmented, but then it quickly sets down and it has that budge-proof, almost like tattoo-like finish on the lips. It's the kind of product where if you really like smudging your lip liner, you're gonna wanna work super quickly and just go a little bit at a time because this does set extraordinarily fast. And because it sets down all the way, it can feel a bit drying on your lips if you don't have any kind of balm or a gloss on top. So I always like to add a little bit of a lip balm to make it more comfortable. And while I think Nude Brun is probably not the best shade for me, Pivoine is stunning. It's a gorgeous pinky berry color, and I know that I'm gonna be reaching for it a lot in the fall and winter months. Because I had to test so many products for this video, I wasn't able to do a full day wear test for every single lip liner, but I did wear this throughout the day and it lasted pretty well throughout a meal. So if you're looking for a long wear option and you've got the money to spend on a luxury brand, I would say this is a really good one. It also feels exactly like the Dior formula. They're pretty much interchangeable for me. A classic lip liner that everybody seems to love is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Lip Liner. And today I'm gonna show you the shades Icon Baby and Pillow Talk Fair. And I'm wearing Pillow Talk Fair in this video underneath a couple other lip products. I've owned several of these throughout the year, so definitely one of my favorites. And these are $25. The website says the velvety waterproof formula glides onto your lips and smooths over texture for a seamless line. So you can resize and reshape the look of your lips for a fuller looking Pillow Talk pout. I feel like this formula is pretty unique to the rest of the ones in this video. So this definitely is more of a long wear kind of formula, but it starts out very creamy at first. It doesn't set all the way down like the Dior or the Chanel lip pencils. It does stay a little bit like tacky on the lips. I actually don't really like when lip liners set all the way down because I find those are the ones that can get like a little bit crumbly, a little bit drying throughout the day. I totally agree agree with the claims that it's waterproof and long wearing. It does start out pretty creamy, so you can really blend it, but it does set rather fast. So I would work a little bit at a time or just work quickly. And then once it sets, it's not exactly that kind of tattoo finish like Chanel or Dior, where if you rub your finger over your lips, nothing will come off. It does stay ever so slightly tacky on the lips. Personally, that doesn't bother me, but some people have said that it feels a little bit heavy. And I think that out of all the products in this video, this has one of the best shade ranges. There are shades for cool tone skin, warm skin. There's shades if you're super fair, if you're really deep. I think Charlotte Tilbury did a fantastic job, and I'm so excited that she just continues to launch more and more shades of her lip products. I mean, pretty much across the entire brand. Pillow Talk Fair is a recent launch, but it quickly became one of my all-time favorite shades because it's actually cool toned. So many products in this video claim to be cool toned, and they definitely aren't, at least on my skin. So I really appreciate that Charlotte Tilbury launched Pillow Talk Fair because the original Pillow Talk shade just looked a little bit too warm and a little weird on me, even though so many people love it. But for a second, can we just talk about the website? I love Charlotte Tilbury as a brand because I think there are so many products that are just absolute bangers, but the website is ridiculous. How am I supposed to read this? Every other word is in all caps. It's just so ridiculous. Like, I just feel like she's yelling at me, you know what I mean? Like, calm down, girl. That being said, it's a damn good lip liner, and I feel like there's just something for everyone. Next up, we have the Cheekbone Beauty Horizon Lip Pencil in the shade Sand. This is $20 on the Cheekbone website, but I got it for $16 on 13 Loon. And Cheekbone is an indigenous beauty brand, and the website says, a highly pigmented vegan matte lip pencil with a smooth, creamy texture that applies precisely and with ease. Blends to a powder-like finish for a soft and subtle feel. The hero ingredient is natural, organic coconut oil that makes for a lip pencil that glides on with ease and applies like a dream. This is a really creamy lip liner. It's super comfortable to wear, and it never fully sets down. It does stay quite emollient on the lips, but there's still a little grip to it. It's not like it gives you that silicone slip that some products have, and it actually feels quite similar to one of my favorite lip liners, which is the Fitglow Vegan Lip Liner formula, but it doesn't have the blurring quality that Fitglow has, so it's not my number one. But honestly, that's such a minor detail that it doesn't really matter. It's really nice, and despite having more of a matte finish, it feels super comfortable on the lips. This is a really small brand, so unfortunately there are only 3 shades, and Sand was just like a little too light and a little too pink for me, but I think that's great because it does fill a gap in the market. I think it's really difficult if you have fair skin to find a lip liner that's actually very light and actually cool toned. So even though it's not the kind of color that I personally reach for, I absolutely see a lot of people that would gravitate towards this. And I think it's really cool that it's an indigenous beauty brand. I highly recommend you read the About Me section of their website. Definitely a brand that's on my radar now that I want to continue supporting. The website says, Cheekbone's aim is to make a difference in the lives of indigenous youth through donations that support educational opportunities for them, and to create a space in the beauty industry where everyone, including indigenous peoples, feel represented and seen. I don't think I've heard of any other indigenous beauty brands, so I just wanted to put this on your radar. And if you're looking for a really creamy, comfortable lip liner pencil, this is a great option. The next lip liner is definitely a favorite of mine. I talked about it in my recent K-beauty video where I purchased like 50 something products from YesStyle. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave it linked in the description box below. But this is the Clio Velvet Lip Pencil in 03 Coffee Brown. The price does fluctuate a lot on YesStyle. I've seen this between $8 and $14, so totally just depends when you're buying it. The website says this is a lip pencil that comes in 4 natural lip colors and helps create a over-the-lip line look. Clio worked with Korean well-known makeup artist Happy Rim to create this lip pencil. Perfectly created in a My Lips But Better color, that true to natural lip color helps create a natural over-smudging lip line look. Glides on lips smoothly without caking, offers long hour adherence to keep a perfect over-lip look. To me, for just like, you know, $8 to $14, this is a better version of the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils. This has a creaminess and a glide to it, but it does have that matte finish and it just looks and feels so velvety on the lips. Oh my God, I love this formula. I love this color. I love everything about it. And I especially love the price. The packaging is even really similar to Makeup Forever in that just like classic wood looking pencil. And I really do feel like I notice a bit of a blurring quality to it. It just looks really flattering in my opinion. And it's so much more affordable than a lot of the other lip liners in this video. Unfortunately, there are only 4 shades and that's such a bummer. I wish they would expand the shade range, but for a product at that price, can't complain. Highly, highly recommend it. And I actually have a code with YesStyle now. If you want 10% off, you can use my code StateOfKate10. Another fantastic affordable option is the ColourPop long-lasting lippy pencil, and I got the shade Cool BFF. This is $7 and the website says a long-wearing and high-intensity lip pencil that glides on easily and prevents feathering. Many of our lippy sticks have a coordinating lippy pencil designed to complement it perfectly, but feel free to mix and match. I can't believe there are 42 shades in this range. I think that might be the biggest shade range out of all of the options in this video, and for $7, I mean, hats off to ColourPop. I think that's fantastic. And I totally agree with the claims. I mean, this starts out really creamy, it glides on like a dream, it's easy to blend, it sets down fully, but it doesn't set too fast. You have tons of time to work with it before it sets. I don't find that it gets gummy or sticky on the lips. And in my mind, this is like if the Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat had a baby with the Dior and the Chanel lip formulas. And I mean, for $7 and 42 shades, what's there to complain about? It's amazing. I also just want to mention that the shade Cool BFF is unlike anything I have found in my 6 years on beauty YouTube. It's a beige that's a little bit gray. It's actually cool toned. This is the perfect kind of natural looking contour shade for my fair skin. I find that most contour shades, like people love Makeup Forever Endless Cacao, that one is just far too dark for my skin. This is the fair skin version of that. So I'm getting a shade that fills a gap in the market, 42 colors to choose from, a luxury feeling formula in a $7 price point. I mean, that's a banger. I also purchased the ColourPop So Juicy Plumping Lip Liner with peptides in the shade Westwood. I believe this is a new launch. This is $8 and the website says, line, fill, and reshape your lips with ColourPop's Velvety So Juicy Plumping Lip Liner that visibly plumps and glides on smooth for super juicy lips. Ceramides, peptides, and ginger boosts your lip line look for a feel-good plump. The long-lasting formula creates clean lines and minimizes feathering. Not gonna lie, this is another banger. I think this is awesome. So this has a super creamy texture. It never fully sets down, and it has almost a glossy finish, which is a little weird. It's more of an all over the lip kind of lip liner, and it does feel quite slippery. Like when you rub your lips together, there's definitely an emollients to it. It feels a little bit like a silicone slip. So I did notice that when I used it as a lip liner, it can migrate a little bit, and because of the glossy finish, something about it just emphasized my lip lines a little bit. So it's definitely not the product you'd want to reach for if you're looking for a budge-proof formula, but if you're looking for something that could double as a lip liner and a lipstick, this might be a nice option. One thing I want to call out though is this has a very strong menthol cooling effect. And it really took me by surprise because I just did not think of a lip liner having a menthol effect. I know that they said plumping, but I thought that was just from the peptides, but this does feel very cooling on the lips. And another thing that took me by surprise is this stained my lips bright pink. I thought that was kind of weird because nothing in the description says that it's a staining product or that it would leave any kind of color behind. And I also thought it was weird because the shade Westwood isn't pink at all. So I would have to check the ingredients. I don't know if there's like red 27 in there or whatever that pH adjusting ingredient is, because it definitely stained my lips a bright pink. I just think that when you have that long lasting lippy pencil that comes in 42 shades for $7, you just can't beat that. So I would say go for the ColourPop lippy pencil and maybe skip this one. There also aren't that many shades in this range. Also, I promise to get better about linking everything that I'm wearing in the description box or in a pinned comment below. And if you'd like to know the jewelry that I'm wearing today, it's by a brand called Idyl, and they're the lovely sponsor of today's video. Without a sponsor, I wouldn't be able to do my deep dive, so big thanks to Idyl. So Idyl creates really minimalist classic pieces with lab-grown diamonds, which is a more ethical and sustainable option to traditional diamonds. According to the brand, they require very little of the Earth's energy, and they provide the same clarity and the same sparkle. By sight and science, there's no difference between the two, only origin and price. What I personally like is that their motto is fueled by transparency, and that they use 100% conflict-free 14 karat solid gold that will never oxidize and can withstand everyday wear. What's especially unique about Idyl is their modular designs, and I think that this is a really cool concept. So you pick a base stone, and then you can purchase add-ons that build around that stone, so you can create a bunch of different looks without having to keep buying that base stone over and over again. And that reduces the cost of each piece, and then you just swap them out according to what you want to wear that day. They have a 2-year warranty, free shipping, and transparent information on the website. Zoomed you in so you can see what I'm wearing. This is the base stone, and then on the bottom here, I have the Lucia add-on, and everything I'm wearing is in white gold. Then I have the Luminate ear cuff. Oh, I just think this looks so nice. And in this clip, I'm wearing the Idyl Jade add-on, which is a little bit more minimal. And my necklace today is the Ava in white gold. So if you're a luxury jewelry lover, but you're looking for something more ethical, sustainable, and transparent, I would definitely check them out. And next up on the list, we have the Ctzn Cosmetics Lip Stroke in Duh, which is a long time favorite on my channel. I first found this lip liner because Sabrina Carpenter's makeup artist used it in a video years and years ago. It's $18 and they say that the lip stroke is a high intensity lip liner with major color payoff, long durability, and a velvet texture and finish. Lip stroke can be used to contour your lips, but it's also pigmented enough to cover your entire lip as a replacement to lipstick. Lip stroke is very easy to apply and comes off with a sharpener attached at the end. You won't be disappointed with this product as it will last the whole day without drying your lips. I gotta say, I do agree with all of those claims. I'm on my second lip stroke in Deux, so I'm a big fan of it. What I like is that these are very skinny for a mechanical pencil, so I can get a very sharp line, which is great because I have a rather sharp Cupid's bow and thinner lips. And I agree this is super creamy, like I barely have to touch my lips and this just glides right on. I agree that you can use it all over the lips and it never feels drying or uncomfortable. It does stay somewhat creamy, but it also sets down. It does stay a tiny bit sticky on the lips, and I do find that the ones that set down but not fully are the ones that can get a little bit gummy, and so this can just bunch up a little bit if you apply too much. It was so many years ago, so I can't remember what video it was where Sabrina Carpenter was wearing this, but since she's blowing up right now, I'm gonna try to dig back through all of my Instagram stories and see if I can find it because I saw it on her and I was like, oh, I need to have that. And one thing that's really cool about Ctzn Cosmetics is that they are on a mission to create nudes for all skin tones. Ctzn Cosmetics is a woman and South Asian owned business, and their website says Ctzn is committed to redefining inclusivity to empower all citizens of the world to feel truly represented. We welcome all ages, genders, ethnicities, races, sexualities, skin types, personalities, and beyond. And I just really like that. Next, we have the Dior Rouge Dior Contour No Transfer Lip Liner Pencil, and I have the shade Brown Fig, which has been discontinued, which is crazy because it was definitely their best shade, but the formula they have is still the same, and coming up I have a dupe for this shade, so stay tuned. These are $35, and the website says the Rouge Dior Contour Lip Liner Pencil perfectly combines bold, no color transfer, 8-hour wear, and optimal comfort to define and enhance lips in one swipe. Resistant to smudging and fading, Rouge Dior Contour extends the wear of your Dior lipstick by 2 hours. Infused with peony extracts, pomegranate flower extracts, and shea butter, this long-lasting lip liner's creamy texture leaves lips looking nourished and soft, while the tip and angled bristle brush make precise application effortless. Comes in 21 shades that perfectly match the colors of the new Rouge Dior lipstick. So everything I said for Chanel also applies to Dior. I really feel like they must have used the same manufacturer because the formula feels identical to me. These are super pigmented, super creamy, and they set down almost immediately. You really don't get much blend time, so you've got to work really quickly or a little bit at a time if you want to blend or smudge your lip liner. These absolutely don't budge. The Chanel and the Dior are the ones that stuck in my mind as the most long wearing. Like when you apply them and they set down, if you rub your finger over your lips, nothing will come off. And like I've said before, these really long wearing budge proof lip liner formulas are the ones that can feel a little bit drying, but I didn't notice any gumminess. I didn't notice when I was applying lip gloss or lip balm that they bunched up or got really weird. So I do think that this is a great long wear option if you don't mind your lip liner being a tad bit drying. A semi-recent launch is the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner, and I got the shades Mauve Aside and Baddest Beige. These are just $2, which is absolutely crazy to me, but the website says these are a creamy lip liner pencil that glides on smooth to shape and sculpt your lips with high pigment color and a semi-matte finish. Meet your new Glide or Die lip liner. This creamy lip pencil glides on like a dream, no tugging here, to precisely line, define, and sculpt your lips with a smooth as e.l.f. application. The ultra pigmented formula delivers rich color and a semi-matte finish to your lips that wears beautifully alone or under lipstick. Choose from a range of 8 stunning shades to enhance your pout. These are ultra creamy, so I think the name Cream Glide Lip Liner is perfect. These never fully set down on the lips, so if you want something budge proof and long lasting, you're probably gonna wanna go for something else in this video. But if you're looking for a lip liner formula that just glides on like a dream and sets down a little bit, but not all the way, I think this would be a really good option. I just swatched Baddest Beige compared to all of my other similar browns, and it was the one that stayed the most creamy and kind of rubbed off easily on my hand. So definitely not a long lasting one, but for $2, I mean, why not give it a try? I'm just not gonna be keeping mine because I personally didn't love the colors on my skin, but one complaint I have about this is the packaging. So I hope you can see this crack in the cap. Both of my e.l.f. lip liners had this issue, but what's even more frustrating is the shade names are right here in the teeny tiniest little little writing you've ever seen in your entire life. I cannot see this with my bare eye, and I have pretty damn good eyesight. So if you want to know the shade of your lip liner, good luck. Next, we have one of my favorites. It's the Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liners. These are $20, and the website says they're an ultra blurring matte lip liner with a powdery velvet texture that defines and contours lips with no harsh lines, feathering, or waxy texture. I really like how skinny these are, kind of similar to the Ctzn Cosmetics Lip Stroke. And I just love how fine the tip is because I can get such a precise line on my Cupid's bow. And because I find that these shades are on the darker side, the slimmer bullet allows me to just get a soft lip line where it gives me a little bit of a contour effect. And I just adore this formula. It glides on like a dream. It's ultra creamy, but then it sets down. And unlike Dior or Chanel that sets down to that like budge-proof tattoo-like finish on the skin, this sets down to a powder finish. So it's really soft. It never gets gummy or weird. And it does have that beautiful blurring effect on the lips. I'm just such a sucker for anything with a blurring effect. What can I say? Most of the shades in this range are too dark or too saturated for me, but Mink, when applied lightly, is the perfect cool toned brown. It's definitely one of the cooler browns in this entire video, and I think it's fantastic if you have light or medium skin. I think this formula is so bomb. My only complaint is that there aren't more shades. They definitely need some lighter shades. They need like some mauves in there, some more like natural looking lip colors in my opinion, but this formula is truly, truly a standout to me. Next up, we have the Kjaer All Smiles Bare Lip Liner in the shade Bare Your Hopes. And this is the dupe for Dior Brown Fig that I was talking about earlier. This is $16 and the website says this is a waterproof lip liner that glides on and lasts long, delivering silky hydration and a smooth matte finish. Ultra pigmented waterproof lip liner is powered by Kjaer's cushiony lip plant complex, a blend of nourishing plant oils that leave lips feeling soft and comfy and empower you to line and define without any stickiness or feathering. Available in 7 nude shades designed to match your lips, not your lipstick. And they say the texture is hydrating and smooth. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's not the most long lasting because it doesn't set down. It does stay kind of creamy on the lips. It's definitely not a dry lip pencil like the MAC ones. There is a bit of silkiness to it that I really, really enjoy, but it's definitely the kind of lip liner that's going to transfer. So if you want something that's budge proof, this is not the product for you, but if you want something creamy and comfortable, then this is a really good option. My friend Devin Jesmer, who's on YouTube and Instagram, I'll link her in the description box below, she compared Dior's Brown Fig to Kjaer Bare Your Hopes, and they're extremely close in color. Dior Brown Fig is a little bit more brown, and Kjaer Bare Your Hopes is a little bit more mauve, so I actually prefer this one over Dior, and it's a fraction of the price, so you can't go wrong. So I just went outside to check on my dog Thumper, and I noticed that the swatch of Kjaer Bare Your Hopes on my hand actually had quite a bit of like shimmer particles in it, which I've never noticed before, and I can't see it on my hand. I've never been able to see it before, but when I went out and my hand was in direct sunlight, I did notice a few shimmer particles. I wouldn't let that put you off though, because I've worn this a bunch of times and I've never noticed it on my lips, but I did just want to mention it. It would be very difficult for me to pick one winner from this video, but if I had to, it would probably be the Fitglow Vegan Lip Liners. I mean, you'll see in the B-roll footage, they're teeny, teeny, tiny. I have used so much of them. I have the shades Nude and Buff, and they're $24. The website says they're a lip perfecting vegan pencil with a blending brush to enhance, hydrate, and plump your lips for all day comfort and wear. When I hear plump, this is what I want out of a formula, whether it's makeup or skincare. There's no cooling effect, there's no menthol or stinging to plump the lips. It is a plumping effect that you'll see in the application footage that just comes from their formula. They're creamy and smooth, but they're not like slippery. They don't slide outside the lip lines like that new ColourPop lip pencil kind of does. They do still have a little bit of a grip to them. They also have a tiny bit of a cushiony quality to them. They just have this Fitglow je ne sais quoi that so many of their lip products have. It's like this smoothness, this cushiony comfort, this blurring effect on the lips that is just ultra flattering. I truly think that this is a remarkable product. I think it's the most underrated lip liner that money can buy. I have talked about these in so many videos on my channel, annual favorites videos, monthly favorites videos, you name it. I just love them. I truly haven't tried another formula like them. Now, you're not going to want to reach for these if you want something long lasting and budge proof. They definitely do stay a little bit creamy on the lips, but not in a slippery way. You've still got that grip to them. So I just find them to be that perfect Goldilocks formula that gives me the comfort and like the blurring effect that I want while still having some grip, so they last a pretty decent amount of time on me. But again, they do transfer. They're not gonna dry down all the way. Feel free to tell me what you think, but in my opinion, these just have the most beautiful blurring quality on my lips, and they just make me feel really confident. But a lip liner you will love if you're looking for something long lasting and budge proof is a new launch from Glossier, and it's their Lip Line lip liner. And I got the shades Grip and Bit. They're $18 each, and the website says they're a creamy, medium coverage lip pencil that enhances your natural shape and tone. Available in an array of true to lip, 8 nipple matched shades. Long wearing, smudge resistant, transfer resistant, and water resistant. This formula is very creamy and glidey at first, but it sets down almost immediately and it does not budge. I posted a YouTube short of this recently and I rubbed my fingers over my lips and nothing transferred. So you can't really smudge this. If you want more of that blurred, smudged, kind of blotted effect, I don't think you're gonna wanna reach for this because it's just so difficult to smudge because it sets so fast. So it's not the kind of formula that you can smudge. If you try to do that, it will legitimately like crumble off your lips or it just won't budge at all. But if you want something long lasting, baby, this is fantastic. I really like it. Feels exactly like the Chanel, exactly like the Dior, but at a fraction of the cost. But like with the other long wearing lip products I've talked about in this video, because it's budge proof, it feels a bit drying on the lips. So I recommend using a balm or a gloss on top. Now I did want to chat a little bit about the nipple matched shades. I think that's a really interesting concept. Now I've heard about nipple matching before to find your best nude lipstick. Honestly, that might be true. I have no idea, but I don't want my lip liner to match my nips. Like I want my lip liner to be a bit darker and define my lips. And this is gonna vary according to everybody's skin tone. I'm just a little bit confused because I've heard of nipple matching for nude lipsticks, which makes sense to me, but for lip liners, that's a different purpose. So I don't really know about the logic behind that. I'm neither for nor against it, but I think the point that they're trying to communicate is that they took actual skin tones and tried to create lip liners that matched those shades. I also just wanted to call out that Grip is described as a cool rose, but I think you can see in the application footage, it is very warm. It's actually more of like a bright, warm rose on me. And I actually would never wear Grip as a lip liner because it is quite bright and warm, but I really like it all over the lips as a beautiful rose color. And then I pop a gloss on top. I actually purchased the shade Bit from Sephora and I haven't even gotten it yet. So I can't comment on that color, but I'll definitely drop in footage of me applying it in this video. And according to my friends, that one is more cool toned than Grip. But overall at $18, you know, I think Glossier is priced pretty decently well. And especially compared to the other long wearing formulas in this video, it is a more affordable price point. It's a super long wearing formula, so I think it's a really good launch from Glossier. Moving along, we have the Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0 Automatic Lip Pencil. These are $21 and the website says, our reinvented Lip Contour 2.0 Velvety Matte Lip Pencil is buttery soft, so light on your lips, and super easy to use. 12 universal shades, extremely pigmented, long-lasting, matte finish. Twist up and retractable tip, mini sharpener included, vegan, waterproof, 6-hour wear. So I don't agree with all of the claims here. These are not my favorite out of the video. What I will agree with is that they're ultra pigmented and very long lasting. What I don't agree with is that they're velvety and the shades are universal. They really just dry down to a standard matte budge proof finish. So they're super long lasting, means they can feel a little bit drying on the lips. But my interpretation of the word velvety when it comes to a lip product is that it has to have a little bit of a smoothness or a little bit of like a glide to it, even though it has a matte finish. And I absolutely don't get that with these. They just dry down and they're budge proof and transfer proof. So I don't really know where they're getting velvety from. I also just didn't find a shade in this range that I thought worked on my skin tone. All of the shades are quite dark and quite bright and saturated. And because they're that transfer resistant formula like Dior, Chanel, and Glossier, they definitely don't feel so light on the lips. So I just think the description of this is a little bit off. You know, those like budge proof formulas are the kind of ones that feel a little bit more heavy to me. But either way, I would say this is a fantastic option if you want something that's smudge resistant and you have medium to deep skin. These are actually so budge proof that I had a really difficult time removing them even with makeup remover. So they are very true to their word when they say they're long lasting. When I talked about these lip liners in a new makeup video, someone left me a really long angry comment saying that this brand isn't for me, so I have no right to complain about the colors. But Huda Beauty sent me these in PR, so I feel like if it wasn't a brand that was supposed to include me and my skin tone, then they probably wouldn't have sent that to me. I don't know, let me know your thoughts, but I would definitely like to see some lighter shades in here because they just felt a little too dark and a little too bright for me. But I think it's nice to fill that gap in the market and make sure that medium to deep skin tones are catered to. One of the other lip products I'm wearing today is a new launch. It's the Ilia Lip Sketch Hydrating Lip Crayon in the shade Rhyme. So real quick, I had on Pillow Talk Fair as a lip liner, then a little bit of Ilia Rhyme, and then on top, I have the Lawless Lipstick Balm in the shade Posy, just for a little bit of comfort because Ilia is matte. They're $26 and the website says they have the creamy comfort of a lipstick and the precision of a lip liner. This weightless lip crayon glides on smoothly, delivering rich, long-lasting color with a soft matte finish. Powered by potent skincare ingredients, Lip Sketch Hydrating Crayon is clinically proven to hydrate, plump, smooth, and strengthen the skin barrier with every wear. Now, I love this product, but I very much disagree with the claims and the marketing of it. This is definitely not a hydrating product. It's a matte lip pencil that has a little bit of creaminess to it, but it definitely does feel a tiny bit drying on the lips. So I would say that it's comfortable and it does have a decent amount of creaminess and glide to it. But at the end of the day, it is still a matte pencil. So don't think of it as something that's gonna like hydrate and moisturize the lips. When I wear this on its own, it definitely does feel a little bit drying on me, but I find it comfortable enough and I like to just pop a little bit of a lip balm on it, no problem. I actually don't like this as a lip liner, but I love it as a lipstick. The chunky pencil is just too thick for my lips. I have a sharper Cupid's bow and I just need something that's more precise. But if you're looking for a really comfortable matte lipstick, I think this is a fantastic option. Banquette was described as a beige pink and I disagree with that. On my skin, it definitely looks a little bit more peachy or like just a little bit more of a warmer kind of beige color. But Rhyme is described as a cool mauve. That's the shade I'm wearing today and I would agree with that. It's definitely a cool toned color. It kind of reminds me of the color that Sabrina Carpenter likes to wear or like an OG 2016 Kylie Jenner kind of shade. So I think that this is a really, really good launch from Ilia. In the luxury category, we have the Kjaer Weis lip pencils and I have quite a few shades. These are $30 and the website says soft semi-matte lip pencils to perfect and accentuate your lips. Shields against color bleed while adding definition and fullness. So these are a pretty creamy pencil formula that never fully set down. So if you want something transfer proof and long wearing, I would not purchase these. But if you want something that has a little bit of a glide to it while also having a bit of grip to it so it doesn't slide around, then I think this is a nice option. If you care more about comfort than wear time, then I think this is a good option. Interestingly, my favorite shade was Classic, which is a bright red. I thought it was just stunningly beautiful and I didn't feel like I had an issue getting a precise line despite how creamy it was. The shade Bare was a little bit too light for me. The shade Faded was just like too much of a bright coral. I would never reach for that. But Classic and Mauve were definitely the standouts for me, although Mauve really isn't a mauve at all. It was more of like a reddish rose. Frankly, I find that most brands don't seem to know what the hell mauve is. Every time a product is described as mauve, I just feel completely bamboozled because it's a different color every single time. And rarely is there a lip color that's actually mauve. That's probably my biggest beauty pet peeve, is that brands call rose mauve and they're definitely not the same thing. The packaging is also really nice on these. It has a very weighted cap, which is great when you have a luxury price point. You want your packaging to feel a little bit more hefty. So I would say overall, if you're a luxury beauty lover and you want a lip pencil that's creamy and comfortable on the lips, then this is a really nice option. A semi-recent launch is the Kosas Hotliner Hyaluronic Acid Contouring Lip Pencil, and I have the shades 100, Max, and Mega. These are $22 and the website says they're a clean, comfy, smooth, retractable lip liner powered by hyaluronic acid, glides on to softly contour and amplify lips without drying. Satiny, long-wearing color glides on smoothly and evenly without pressing or tugging. Perfect for creating contoured definition or filling in lips completely. Hyaluronic acid and cognac root hydrate, soften, and visibly plump lips instantly and over time. Includes a built-in brush and sharpener. If you've tried the Rare Beauty Kind Words formula, this is the exact same thing in my opinion. It's kind of creamy, kind of grippy, and then kind of sticky all at once. It's definitely the kind of formula that can get a little bit gummy is what I'm trying to say. It's not my ultimate favorite, but I do really enjoy these. They're just not something that you want to buy if you are looking for a transfer resistant formula. They're not like the most long lasting thing. They're definitely smooth. They don't have any tugging. They don't feel drying on my lips. Very blendable. You can get a really nice all over the lip look. You can get a really nice smudge on them. But I would say the thing that stands out the most to me about the Kosas Hotliners is the shade range. The shade 100 is such a good nude color for fair to light skin. It is very, very rare to find lip liners that are light but still add definition. I haven't found another color like this in my collection. It is definitely going to be my go-to nude lip liner shade when I want to go for that like almost almost concealer lips look, you know what I mean? And then the color Mega is one of my favorites out of this whole video. It is like a slightly cool toned rose. It just looks really natural, like a My Lips But Better kind of color in my opinion. And even though they don't mention it, I do feel like these have almost a little bit of a blurring quality to them. Not as much as Fitglow or M Cosmetics, but there is a touch, and I really appreciate that. I just feel like they're quite flattering on the lips. Yeah, I would say I really like these, and the more I wear them, the more they grow on me. But a product that I absolutely hated is the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner, and I got the shades Blushing and Bare. So first of all, I'm just gonna put in a picture here of my Ulta order. This was my order along with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Liner, and these just got jacked up. I truly don't know what happened. I'm assuming that these melted, but they looked completely deformed. So in all of the application clips, these look completely jacked up. But anyways, these are $3.49. So the cheapest aside from the e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liners. And the website says the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner creates precise lines to customize your lip shape without skipping. Wear with lipstick or alone for all over color. This to me is just a dry lip liner pencil formula. It's underwhelming and forgettable in my opinion. Obviously for $3.49, I'm not mad about that. But I just think that there are much better affordable lip liners in this video. These do have a touch of creaminess to them, but ultimately on my lips, they do feel like generally more of a drier lip pencil formula. And they also just don't look very flattering. I thought the colors were just way off. And they didn't have any descriptions of the shades online, so I just had to go by the one tiny little artificial digital swatch on Ulta. I just feel like there's really nothing special about them, especially if your skin is on the lighter side. These were like the lightest colors that I could find. And when I tried to smudge them out, I feel like they were a little difficult to blend. They just kind of emphasized my lip lines, but you know, for $3.49, I'm not mad about it. I'm disturbed by how many hours I've been talking and how many more lip liners I still have to go. But an LA Girl lip liner that I actually really enjoyed is the LA Girl Long Lasting Shockwave Lip in the shade Mauve. These are $4.99, and the website says, you might want to take a seat before you swatch because the Shockwave lip liners will have you shook. Shockingly bold colors glide on creamy pigment with full coverage finish that lasts up to 8 hours. The soft plastic pencil can be sharpened with a regular sharpener for precise application every time. So these are fantastic if you want an affordable, long-lasting, transfer-resistant lip liner, but they do feel a little bit drying on their own. That's to be expected. So I think this is a really nice drugstore option. I actually prefer this to the Maybelline and the Revlon formulas that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. I also really appreciate that the shade Mauve is a little bit closer to what mauve actually is. It's kind of like a slightly cool rose, so I appreciate that they didn't make it super warm. I just think it's a really nice color and a really nice long-lasting texture. That's only $4.99. So if you're gonna go LA Girl, I would definitely go for the Shockwave formula over the Precise Precision one. The only thing is the tip is plastic, and I had been trying to figure out for weeks how to sharpen it, and I was trying to figure out, is there a sharpener on the pencil? Is it supposed to come with a sharpener? And now rereading the description, I can see that you're supposed to be able to just sharpen it with a regular sharpener. I don't know how that's possible because it feels like plastic, but I will give it a try. Moving along, we have the Lawless Forget the Filler Definer Lip Liner, and I got the shade Pink Sands. These are $21, and the website says define, line, shape, contour, and fill with Forget the Filler Definer Liner. This comfortable, creamy lip liner provides a silky smooth touch and optimal glide and delivers highly pigmented payoff in one tug-free stroke. I would say that this formula is the second creamiest, silkiest, and most emollient out of this video, or maybe it's tied for number one. I'm thinking of the ColourPop Plumping Lip Liner. That one is very silky and slippery. This one is a close second. Similarly to the ColourPop one is that this has a glossy finish, which kind of threw me off, and I feel like it kind of emphasized my lip lines. It's just when I'm looking at the application footage, it doesn't look very flattering on me. And I just think it has something to do with that texture. And it is so creamy and it doesn't set at all. So I think they made it a little bit too emollient. It's just not something I'd ever want to use as a liner. I don't know, maybe it's just the shade that I got because I also don't love the shade. I do like that it applies very creamy. It's just that when it comes to creamy lip liners, I prefer the ones that have a blurring finish like Fitglow and M Cosmetics. They describe the shade Pink Slip as a cool, muted rose, and I actually agree with that. I feel like it is a rose shade. It's not like it's a mauve. It's not very purpley, but it is cooler than most of the rosy shades that I've tried. And so I think it's actually a really nice color to have. It's not one that I would necessarily reach for all the time, but I do quite like the shade. I just don't think that the texture is necessarily for me. So this would have been the spot where I would review the Lisa Eldred's Sculpt and Shape lip liner in 0N, but it's been out of stock for weeks and weeks, and I've been delaying this video until it it comes back in stock, but I just decided not to delay this video any further because this has been months and months and months of work and I just don't want to delay it anymore. So if you've tried both of the Lisa Eldridge lip liner formulas, please let us know what they're like in the comments because I really do want to try the shade 0N when it comes back in stock. Next up, we have a tried and true classic. We've got the MAC lip pencil and I have the shade Spice. Now these are $24, but they're very often on sale for $18 on MAC's website. And they don't really say much about it on their site. They just say that they're a lip pencil in a wide range of colors designed for shaping, lining, or filling in the lips. So I know that this is a classic formula and everybody seems to love this, but this is one of my most hated formulas that I've ever tried. It feels so dry on my lips. There's no glide to it. It just really seems to emphasize my vertical lip lines. I have a little bit of that on my upper lip. I just straight up don't like the MAC lip pencils. I also have yet to find a shade that I really like. All of the shades are either too warm, too dark, or too bright for me. And interestingly, Spice is described as a pink cinnamon stick, and I feel gaslit because this is a peach brown. Ain't no pink in sight here, okay? And that's such a perfect example of why undertones are so important because it might look pink on you if you have warmer undertones in your skin, but on my specific complexion, it's definitely more of like a spiced peachy brown. I don't know, what do you guys think? Are you a fan of the MAC lip pencils? Is it like a cult favorite for a reason? Or do you agree with me that they're just a little underwhelming? Ooh, next up we have a favorite of mine. It's the Makeup by Mario Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Pencil. These are $24, and the website says they're a precision dual-ended lip liner that defines, sculpts, and limitlessly shapes the lips to create the illusion of a fuller pout. Matte, full coverage formula is infused with emollients for comfortable wear. Controlled application with comfortable, flexible film. Zero feathering or bleeding. Dual-ended brush can be used to blend and blur color to perfection. Lip lock technology extends wear of lipstick. Contour shape technology whips lips into shape and creates the perfect Cupid's bow. 19 gorgeous shades. I don't know what contour shape technology whips lips into shape means, but okay, we'll go with it. I love this shade range. They have 19 colors. They come in a wide range of nude colors for every skin tone, bright shades, bold shades. I just think it's such a well-balanced shade range. And I do really like the texture of these. They are a pencil formula that has moderate glide and emollients. They remind me of the Kosas and the Rare Beauty formula, but they're a little bit stickier, which makes them a little more long lasting. So they're creamy, but not ultra creamy. They have a pretty decent amount of grip to them, and they definitely have some tack to them, but it's a nice balance because they apply easily and they're not like the most long lasting formula. They're not budge proof. They're not transfer resistant, but for a creamy lip liner formula, they definitely stay pretty decently well. They also don't get gummy. They don't feel drying and they don't fully set down. So I really like that I have the opportunity to blend them whenever I want to. So I would say that these are one of the better lip liners, the better textures and better shade ranges in this video. I just love that there are so many different variations of saturation of color, depth of color, and undertones. I mean, there is just something for everyone in this shade range. Dimitri is a nude beige and it's such a good nude lip liner on my skin. It's a tad bit deeper than Kosas 100. So it's fantastic when I want a nude lip liner look without looking like I have concealer lips. But my favorite is Smoky Pink. I have never tried a color like Smoky Pink. It's the color that I've been searching for. And Smoky Pink is the perfect way to describe it. It is a muted, like desaturated pink. Smoky Pink has been out of stock on Sephora and the Makeup by Mario website for literally months, but it just came back in stock on both sites. So I'm very happy that I can hopefully post this video while the product is still available. A product so many people love is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil Longwear Lip Liner. These are $24 and the website says a cult favorite ultra blendable pencil that can be used on lips, brows, eyes, and face to create endless looks from natural to bold. Line, define, and contour with one richly pigmented pencil in a creamy, long-lasting formula with a comfortable matte finish. Available in universally flattering shades for every skin tone, whether you are looking for the perfect lip liner or soft contour shade. So these are a standard lip pencil formula. In my opinion, they're a tad bit creamier than something like the MAC lip pencil. And they do have a tiny bit of a velvety finish, but they're still just a little bit too drying and lackluster for my personal preference, even though I know everybody loves them. Frankly though, I just hate all of the shades in this range. range. If I had to pick a favorite, I would say Wherever Walnut. I think that's the one that most people tend to gravitate towards. It's like a brown, a red, and a pink all in one. And although it's nice, it's still just not my perfect shade. It's a little warmer than the traditional lip liner colors that I reach for, but I can definitely see why so many people love that shade. But all of the other colors are just super warm or way too dark. Like Endless Cacao is just straight up deep gray. Anywhere Caffeine is really orangey on me. What I do like is that these are a multi-use product, so you can use them on your eyes, cheeks, lips, whatever. I think that they have an asterisk next to one of them that you can't use it as a multi-use product, but it's really nice that for the most part you can. So if you wanted to use one of like the brown ones on your lips and your eyes, I think that's really great. But overall, I think these are probably the most overrated product in this video. But another lip liner from Makeup Forever is the Makeup Forever Aqua Lip Waterproof Lip Pencil, and I have the shade 3C, which I think was the one that the Olsen twins used to wear. Correct me if I'm wrong. These are $22, but they're often 30% off on the Makeup Forever website. And the website says this waterproof, extremely long-lasting lip liner shapes and defines the lips and is ideal for use with your favorite lip product. Gliding on with vitamin E and jojoba wax, it makes application easier and more comfortable on the lips. Its shades are perfectly paired with Aqua Rouge for an unstoppable, long-lasting lip. So this is a great texture if you want something that is completely budge-proof, and I very much agree that it's waterproof. So it's one of those extraordinarily long-lasting formulas. I let this sit on my hand for a minute and it set down and did not budge at all, but it sets so fast that you really can't smudge it or blend it, which you already know I don't like. So obviously it really depends on what your personal preferences are, but this would be the Makeup Forever pencil you reach for if you want something very long lasting. It's the kind of pencil where if you rub your lips together, you're not gonna get any emollients. It's gonna feel kind of like a tiny bit dry and tacky, but if you add a gloss or a balm on top, it doesn't crumble or get gummy or anything weird like that. But the shades are very, very limited. I went to Sephora and I swatched all of them, and this is the closest I could find to something that would work for me, but it's still just far too warm. With the color 3C, there's a little red, a little brown. So it's just generally not the kind of shade that I personally reach for, but I can absolutely see why this color is such a favorite among so many beauty lovers. If you have warmer skin, I think this would be a really good option. A recent launch is the Maybelline Lifter Liner, and I got the shade On It. They're $9.99, and the website says, meet Lifter Liner, Maybelline New York's next level lip liner for long-lasting, easy-on color. Creamy and comfortable moisture-locking formula, this lip pencil delivers smooth glide application without tugging. Available in 10 shades to combine with your favorite lifter gloss. This is great if you want a super creamy drugstore formula that sets down. It applies super soft, like you barely have to touch your lips and it glides right on. It has pretty decent blend time before setting down. With a lot of these Longwear formulas, what I don't like about them is that there's no time to blend if I want more of a smudged look, but this one does give you that blend time, so I really like it. It actually reminds me most of the e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liners, but I like this one more because this shade On It is a little bit more cool toned than e.l.f. Baddest Beige. It doesn't crumble or get weird if you apply a gloss on top, but the shades are a little bit weird. This was one of the lightest shades that I could find, and it's quite a darker color. I think this shade range is just a little bit more suited if you have medium to deep skin, in my opinion. For example, I was watching a recent video from Abby Young, and she applied On It in the shade Line Leader, and Line Leader looked like a super bright kind of like saturated pink on her, but it didn't look like that in the artificial swatches at all. Same with On It. On It looked a lot lighter online, but in person it's actually quite a dark, slightly cool toned brown. So if you're interested in buying one of the Maybelline Lifter Liners, I would say try to do some research, maybe see if there are some good swatch videos on TikTok or YouTube, and just make sure that you're seeing an accurate representation of the color, because you cannot trust the digital swatches. Another product from Maybelline, we have the Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in Magnetic Mauve. These are $8.49, and the website says, Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner creates a fully defined look that helps lipstick stay put for your most impactful lip. Define your lips with Maybelline's mechanical, self-sharpening liner. Creamy, no smudge lip liner formula prevents lipstick bleeding and feathering. Comes in a collection of color coordinating hues from nudes to plums. So out of all the mechanical lip liners, this is definitely one of the more creamy ones. Creamier than the Revlon one that's coming up. Not quite as creamy as M Cosmetics, but it glides on like an absolute dream. You barely have to touch your lips. It does set almost immediately. You don't have much blend time before it dries down, and then once it dries down, it is completely budge proof. And again, these are reminiscent of the Chanel, the Dior lip liner formula, these ultra creamy textures that set down and then don't transfer. But for $9.99, I mean, can't go wrong. I can absolutely see why these have so many rave reviews online, but I really like that it has a skinny bullet because I can get a very precise line. And considering that it does set down so so quickly and I can't really smudge it because it has that skinnier bullet. I find that I'm able to get so much more control. So I think this is a really great option, but there's no world in which you can tell me that this is mauve. This is like a bright rose shade. I mean, come on. Continuing with the theme of drugstore liners, I've got the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in nude. They're $5.99. And the website says, Milani Color Statement Lip Liner delivers statement-making color and seamless application with every stroke. Define, shape, and fill in lips with ease. So this is an ultra creamy formula that never fully sets down, so I would not recommend it if you want something transfer proof. I don't know if it's just the shade I got, but this is extremely sheer and patchy. Like it felt very silky, almost slippery and silicone-y on the lips. The color itself is a nice kind of rosy brown shade, so it's not necessarily the color that's the issue. It's super sheer. It's like almost transparent, but it's not a very light shade, so it's a little bit mind-boggling. And because it doesn't set down, it just slides right off my lips, so yeah, this is just not one of my favorites out of this video. But I'm curious to see if I got another shade if I would have a different experience. So if you've tried the Milani Color Statement lip liners, let us know what your experience is, because I really do enjoy creamy lip liner formulas that don't fully set, but this one feels like it's a little too creamy. I'm excited about this one. This is the Mob Smooth Precision Lip Liner in 1990. These are $22 and the website says they're a waterproof, richly pigmented, stay put all day color with no transferring, feathering, or bleeding. Easily achieve a precision line that never skips or drags and smooth enough to glide and fill in your entire lips. 100% silicone-free, plastic-free formula and packaging. Formulated with all natural ingredients including carnauba, candelia, I don't know, including some ingredients, all right? I can't pronounce them. And antioxidants to nourish and condition for ultra comfortable non-drying wear. So first of all, this is actually a recreation of MAC's original lip liner in Spice. They have since changed the color to a very, very warm shade. But Victor Cassel, who's the co-founder and CEO of Mob Beauty, was the chief chemist at MAC for many years. And he listened to consumers and saw that everyone wanted the original Spice back, which I've never tried, so I can't comment on. But I like this so much more than MAC's lip liner formula, and I like this shade 1990 so much more than the current iteration of Spice. The formula itself is beautiful. It's a classic pencil formula, but it has a really nice creaminess to it. You have tons of time to blend. It's comfortable on the lips. It's not too slippery or creamy, but it doesn't set down all the way. It doesn't get gummy or sticky because it's just like a classic pencil formula with a little bit of creaminess to it. It's not as creamy as something like Cheekbone or Fitglow's formula, but I think it's a great like middle of the road lip pencil texture. So I think a lot of people are really gonna like this one in particular, especially because it's a recreation of MAC's original Spice. And I would personally describe this color on my complexion as equal parts mauve, brown, and peach. I swatched all of the lip liners in my collection and nothing came close to this, so I can definitely see why so many people would like this. One of the best shade ranges in this video is the NYX Slim Lip Pencil, and I have the shades mauve and nude beige. These are just $5 and they come in a wide range of colors. The website says, slim, trim, and filled to the brim with pigment. The NYX Professional Makeup Slim Lip Pencil is a must-have in your makeup bag. The buttery soft, long-wearing lip liner has a creamy formula that applies easily and resists bleeding. I don't know what's going on over there at NYX, but this description is way off, and if you've tried these lip pencils, you know that every time you order one, you get a completely different formula. Like my shade mauve was fantastic. It had a pretty good amount of pigment. It's actually one of my all-time favorite lip liners. It's probably my favorite lip liner color ever, but it was a bit drying. It was pretty waxy and it would definitely tug on my lips. Like I had to just go over and over and over one area to build up the pigment. And that was when it was a brand new product. Now that I've had it for many months, it is super dried up and I can barely use it. And then I got the shade Nude Beige and it was so much worse. It was super dry. There was no pigment. I mean, I was just shocked by how different the formula was. And I mean, the texture on mauve wasn't even good to begin with, but Nude Beige was just so much worse. And if you look at any of the reviews online, you will see people saying they must have reformulated this, something happened, this used to be amazing. Like everybody had some holy grail lip liner in the NYX Slim Pencil range. And I've just seen so many people online trying to find dupes for Peekaboo Natural, Mauve, Nude Beige, all the different colors in this range. So it's super sad. I don't know what happened over there, but they need to fix it? Because this would have been one of my favorites in the video otherwise, but the inconsistency is just disastrous. Frankly, I don't know how they're allowed to keep selling products that are this inconsistent. Like, I feel like that should be a crime. There's just a phenomenal lack of quality control, and it's extra disappointing because at a $5 price point and 31 shades, it's a real bummer. But at this point, these pencils in my collection are barely even usable. If you have a color dupe for NYX Mauve, please let me know. It's my favorite lip liner color of all time because it's this gorgeous, like, muted plum that just looks natural with my lips, but it just looks a little bit more amped up. It is truly my favorite lip liner color of all time. So it's tragic that it's in this disastrous formula. And to be honest, I actually came up with the concept for this video to find a dupe for NYX Mauve. And I purchased a lot of lip liners that were described as mauve, and none of them matched this color, which goes back to my original thesis that nobody knows what mauve is, but that's besides the point. In summary, NYX, great colors, horrible formula. Let's talk about the Pat McGrath Permagel Ultra Lip Pencil in Done Undone. This is $29. This is a long-lasting yet luxuriously comfortable, creamy gel texture that glides on seamlessly without skipping or dragging. The matte formula also provides enough playtime for blending and diffusing. Once set, this lip pencil offers transfer-resistant wear that won't smudge or feather. So this is an interesting creamy gel texture. It's kind of unlike anything else in this video, and it glides on super creamy, almost slippery at first, and then it sets down and it does not budge, and it becomes completely transfer resistant. So I think the name Permagel is such a great descriptor. When I tried it on camera for the first time, I was very confused. I thought it wasn't showing up. I was like, what is happening? There's no pigment to this. And then I saw that there was a lot of like micro gold shimmer in it, and I was just very confused. But I think that gold shimmer actually makes the shade Done Undone look lighter in color than the base pigment actually is. They call it a light pink nude, but on my hand, it's like a light peachy beige, but the very light gold shimmer makes it look a little bit lighter on my lips. I just personally don't want any shimmer in my lip liner, so it's not my favorite. But the formula itself is great. It doesn't get gummy because it sets down so fast. So if you want a really long-lasting liner, I think this is a good option. I just didn't find any shades that would suit my particular preferences, but I did think this was a pretty good option. A K-beauty product from my YesStyle video is the Peri Para Ink Velvet Lip Liner in Rosy Nude. This is $6.75. And the website says, the lip pencil comes in different natural lip colors to create natural over lip look. Smudge-proof formula offers prolonged adherence, features a creamy and buttery texture that glides on lips smoothly without caking. Easily blend with fingertips to create a natural lip outline. Comes with an automatic built-in sharpener for convenient use. So this does have a tiny bit of a glide to the formula, but I would actually say it's a little bit more tacky than anything. I compared it to other lip pencils that have a skinny bullet, like the Maybelline Color Sensational, the Revlon one that's coming up, M Cosmetics, and this one was definitely the least creamy and glidey. It was just a little bit tacky, but then once it sets, it feels exactly like the others. Like the Peri Para, Revlon, and Maybelline Color Sensational, once they're set, feel exactly the same. As you can see in the footage, I just had a really hard time blending this because the color was a lot deeper than I was expecting, and it sets down so fast. I definitely wouldn't describe this color as rosy nude. I would say it's just a rose, but because it wasn't creamy, it was really dragging on the lips, and you can see in the footage that it's just a bit patchy because of that. So for $6.75, it's not bad, but there are just so many other better options in this video at a low price point. One that I know so many people love is the Rare Beauty Kind Words Lip Liner, and I have the shade Worthy. They're $15, and the website says they're a super creamy waterproof lip liner that glides on like a balm to define lips in the same 10 rich made-to-match shades as the Kind Words matte lipstick. This is a nice middle-of-the-road formula that's a mechanical liner. It applies kind of creamy, but it's not like ultra glidey or slippery. It doesn't set down all the way. It's not fully transfer resistant. Like I said before, this reminds me most of the Kosas Hotliner formula. I would not agree that it glides on like a balm. It just feels like a mechanical lip liner to me. So if you want something fully budge proof, I don't think that this is for you. But if you're like me and you want something that's creamy but still sets a little bit, then I think this is a really good option. I did see some reviews on Sephora that said it gets gummy and it crumbles off, but frankly, I never had that problem, and I tried this with lip gloss many times. The thing that bothers me are the shades. I've swatched all of them at Sephora many times, and the shade Worthy was described as a muted mauve, but surprise, surprise, on my skin, it's not even anything close to a muted mauve. I would say it's more of a rose beige. There's definitely definitely quite a bit of warmth to it. But of course, that's going to depend on your undertones and your unique complexion. So, you know, take everything I say about color with a grain of salt. Overall, I think if I were to find a color that worked on my skin, I would probably love this formula, but because there weren't any shades that suited me, it's just not something I'm going to reach for, but I can very much see why so many of my friends who have warmer skin really love it. A product that I think is absolutely uniquely in a category of its own is the Refy Lipped Sculpt Lip Liner and Setter in the shade Blush. These are $26 and the website says the creamy blendable lip liner smoothly applies to the lips and has been developed to feel lightweight, fill, and smooth lines. The Setter creates a smooth matte finish that is smudge proof, reducing applications and maintaining your lip color for longer. The one-of-its-kind formula sets your lip liner in place for long-lasting wear up to 10 hours while keeping your lips hydrated. I had a weird experience with this. At first, I absolutely loved it. It glided on super creamy and smooth, and it set down all the way and it didn't budge, but it actually felt super comfortable on my lips and it didn't feel drying. And in this footage, I think you can see that it has quite a blurring quality to it. I actually do agree that it fills in the lip lines, and I've talked to my friend Deb and she agrees with me that this is a blurring quality and the formula is just incredible despite quite a lot of negative reviews on Sephora. But then the second time I tried it, it was really gummy and really sticky. So I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure why. I then tried it for the third time and I didn't have an issue with it getting gummy. So I can't really concretely say what my experience is. The lip setter is interesting. It has a liquid matte texture and it's nice because it does help the liner feel really smooth instead of sticky while still keeping it matte. So I think that's really interesting. It's also smudge proof, which is crazy. So even though it feels super emollient and like slippery on your lips, if you rub it with your finger, no color comes off. Like you'll rub off a little bit of that slippery matte balm texture, but no color transfers. So I think this is a really cool product. Definitely my favorite product from Refy that I've tried. So I do think that so far all of the claims are true. I just think I want to test this a little bit more to make sure that I fully agree with it. Just a heads up though, this lip liner is super creamy. And so if you twist up too much of it, it can break off. And a lot of people said that on Sephora. So just be cautious and know that it's quite a soft formula. Don't over twist. Frankly, I was quite surprised by all the negative reviews on Sephora for this product. And honestly, I think it's because Refy doesn't seem to send products to people through Influencer. And if you don't know what Influencer is, it's a company where regular consumers who aren't beauty influencers can sign up and you post reviews in exchange for free products. And that's when you go to the review section of Sephora. If you scroll down and you click like non-incentivized reviews, that will filter out anyone who received products through Influencer. And I just think that Refy doesn't do that because I've always noticed Refy has fewer reviews than other brands. And as soon as Refy launches a product, I never see that there are already like 200 5-star reviews like there are when any other brand launches a product at Sephora. So for that, they have mad respect from me because in my opinion, it seems like they're not trying to compete with the status quo and send people a bunch of PR to leave positive reviews. Again, that's just speculation, but anytime I see Kosas, Rare Beauty launch a new product on Sephora, the day it launches, there are already like 200 5-star reviews. And that to me is a red flag. And the fact that Refy doesn't seem to do that earns major brownie points with me. My only complaint is that the shades aren't really for me. Blush is quite a bright pink, not something I'd really reach for. The other colors are definitely very warm. So I really hope they expand the shade range because I think this formula is quite a standout. Another drugstore option, we have the Revlon Colorstay Lip Liner in the shade Mauve. These are $10.29 and the website says our newly updated Colorstay Long Wearing Lip Liner provides lasting color and definition, helps lip color stay put longer, and helps prevent bleeding and feathering. It's all why a Colorstay Long Wear Lip Liner is sold every 20 seconds in America. Wow, that's wild. I had no idea. That's crazy. So this, in my opinion, is the exact same formula as the Maybelline Colorstay Lip Liner. They're both skinny pencils and they both go on ultra creamy and then they set down and they don't budge. So again, I feel like they use the same manufacturer. It doesn't feel gummy or crumble or anything when I add a gloss. And then it sets down to the point where in order to remove it, I have to use makeup remover. Like I've said a million times before, I do prefer a creamier lip liner with a bit of a blurring quality that doesn't fully set down. But if you want a long wear lip pencil and you find a color that works for you, then I think this is a fantastic option. This shade was definitely a little bit warmer than what I'm looking for because I was trying to match the NYX color in mauve. But if you're looking for a nice rose shade, I think this is a good option. One that really caught me by surprise is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 8-Hour Soft Lip Liner Pencil in the shade Cappuccino. It's $4.93 sense. And the website says, lasting finish lip liner helps to lock your lips in place for up to 8 hours. Soft, creamy texture glides on precisely to lips for rich, vibrant color that blends easily without bleeding. Gliding texture, long wear, precise application, blends seamlessly. Cappuccino is such a good shade if you feel like Makeup Forever's Endless Cacao was too dark and too cool toned for you. This has that touch of gray, that contour effect without being too gray. So I absolutely see why so many people have talked about Rimmel Cappuccino online. And formula wise, I think that these actually feel almost exactly like the Victoria Beckham lip liners, which are a much higher price point. Classic lip pencil formula, but with a touch of creaminess that also has a bit of grip to it. So it's not too stiff, not too dry, but it's not too creamy, not too glidey. You get what I'm saying. For $5, I think this is insanely good, and I think it's crazy that I haven't heard more people talk about this, considering it is a super good price point. In this shade, I feel like if more people knew about it, they would go crazy for it, because you can just apply a little bit if you have super pale skin. If you have more medium skin, you could definitely apply it all over the lips for like more of a nude shade. It's just so underrated, and I think it's awesome. I have an unpopular opinion on this next one. This is the Sephora Collection Retractable Rouge Gel Lip Liner, and I have the shade Sinker Suede in the Nudist. These are just $13, really good price point. And the website says they're a retractable lip liner with an innovative gel cream formula to enhance the lip contour for a long-lasting, softer appearance. Comes with a built-in sharpener for easy application. Unique soft texture of this creamy gel lip liner's non-drying, innovative formula glides on lips with ease, creates fuller-looking lips, provides a color-matched base for Sephora's existing top-selling Lip Stories and cream lipsticks. So this is one of the weirdest formulas that I've ever tried, and I'm kind of bamboozled by this because so many people have told me that they love these. These definitely have a gel texture, so that's accurate, but I just find them to be so sticky and like kind of dragging on the lips. They also have a really glossy finish, which they don't say online, but on the back of my hand, I mean, it definitely looks super shiny. So even though it's described as matte, it's just like glossy and sticky. I don't know, it's just very weird. It's not a texture that I like on my lips whatsoever. And I also find that they're not very pigmented, and I like something that's middle of the road pigmented. I don't want it to be too sheer nor too pigmented, but these are so sheer that I feel like they don't even really show up that much. And it's such a disappointment because I feel like Sinker Suede and the Nudist are two colors I have never seen in any lip liner shade range before, which is why I'm definitely gonna keep them. And you can't really tell that they're glossy on my lips, but on the back of my hand, you can see they're shiny. So you're probably like, well, what are you talking about, Kate? I just don't like how sticky they feel. But I will say, looking at the application footage, Sinker Suede is such a great color for cool toned skin. It's nice and subtle. So it's the kind of lip liner you reach for when you want something that's just like barely there and a little bit cool toned. I don't know. I wanted to love these so much because everybody raves about them. All of my friends love these. I just felt like they were kind of sticky and weird. I don't know. Maybe I just need to try them again because Sinker Suede is really such a great color. Another K-beauty product is the Sam Cover Perfection Lip Pencil in the shade 05 Toffee. This is $7.30, but again, products on YesStyle do fluctuate in price. The website says they're a lip pencil that helps create a sophisticated lip look by providing coloring, shading, and an over lip effect. Comes in 6 colors for different skin undertones and various purposes. With its 4mm fine tip, this lip pencil can accurately adjust the shape of your lips. Glides on lips smoothly without caking. So this reminds me a lot of the MAC lip pencils, much too drying for me, and it really does seem to drag on my lips. Just really not something that I would ever reach for personally. The shade is also too warm for me, but putting that aside, very forgettable formula. I think for the $7-ish price point, there are just so many others in this video that I prefer. Next up, we have a brand that's new to me, and it's called the Suede Beauty Lip Liner, and I have the shades Barely There and Rose Petal. These are $24, and the website says the Suede Lip Liner comes in the softest, velvety, color-rich formula that glides onto your lips. You can use it to overline and reshape your lips, or as a base all over to make your lipstick stay in place. The luxurious formula is long-lasting with vegan and natural ingredients. The pencil comes with a vegan brush for professional application. So these are super creamy and glidey. You barely have to touch them to your lips, and you get smooth, even pigment. And you do get a pretty decent amount of time before they set down, and then once they set, they do not budge. When I was doing the swatches for this video, I had to remove these with makeup remover to get them off and really scrub my hand. So they're very much a long-lasting kind of formula. They don't get gummy or crumbly or weird when you apply a gloss. I would just say heads up that the website does not accurately depict the colors. On the model with slightly tan skin, Barely There looked like a really nice light brown, but on me, it's actually almost lighter than my lip color. Like it's a very, very light kind of nude shade. So Barely There is a pretty good description of the shade. It's just not my favorite. Not my favorite color, not my favorite texture, but I think if you want a really long-lasting formula that starts out creamy, this is a nice option. And then again, Rose Petal looked a lot cooler on the website than it does on my lips. On me, it actually seems almost like a bright coral. Super, super different from how it's portrayed online. And I actually had a few people DM me that when I posted about Suede Beauty on Instagram. People said, hey, heads up, if you're getting the lip liners, they are significantly warmer than they look online. And the people who messaged me that were absolutely correct. So just a heads up, if you have cool tone skin, these might be a little bit too warm for you, but if you have warm skin, then there you go. A product I've used for many years is the Thrive Lip Filler Long Wearing Plumping Lip Liner. These are $24. And the website says they're a semi-permanent micropigment technology that delivers bold, full coverage, no bleed color that lasts all day. Revitalizing lip quench technology acts as a built-in primer to treat, smooth, and plump. Includes a built-in sharpener so you can create a precision tip for more detailed application. So this is a very smooth, ultra creamy mechanical lip liner in a twist-up pencil component. And the level of pigment depends on the depth of color. So the lighter shades, Joe and Jessie, that I have are quite sheer and I didn't really like them, but the deeper shades had a really good amount of pigment. These glide on like a dream. They feel very comfortable and emollient on the lips, but then they set down. They're not 100% budge proof. Like they're not completely transfer resistant, as you'll see a little bit later on in the application footage. As it starts setting, it doesn't get gummy or crumble off. As it starts setting, it doesn't feel sticky. They don't feel drying. It's a really, really good creamy lip liner formula. I would compare it most to the M Cosmetics Soft Blur Lip Liner, which is one of my favorites. I do prefer the formula of M Cosmetics because it has this gorgeous blurring quality that Thrive does not have, but this is similar. These I would say are a little bit more long wearing, whereas M Cosmetics have a little bit more of like a powdery creaminess to them. This is still one of my all-time favorite lip liners, specifically in the shade, I think it's called Gizlan, Gizlan. It just has a great balance of all of the things I like. Smooth, even pigment that's not too sheer, but not too pigmented, a creamy texture that's not sticky, that doesn't set down all the way and feel really drying, a nice amount of time before it sets so you can smudge it if you'd like, a precise line, comfortability, and a mostly smudge-proof texture. So once it fully sets, if I kiss the back of the hand, you're still gonna see a little bit of transfer, but to me, I don't care. I just think it's really quite good, and they have a lot of shades that have a range of light colors to deep colors and bold colors, and I don't find that they get weird when you have a gloss on top, so I think this is a really, really nice option. One of my most talked about lip liners on my channel is the Tower 28 one-liner lip liner and eyeliner and cheek pencil, and I have the shades Work of Art and Fill Me In. These are $15, which is such a good price point for a Sephora brand, and the website says they're a creamy, high pigment, non-drying matte lip liner for lips, eyes, and cheeks to create infinite looks. Made with good-for-you moisturizing ingredients like shea butter and marula oil, these pencils glide on without tugging or dragging, and they're super blendable. They're a creamy liner, matte finish, hydrating, vegan, fragrance-free, and sensitive skin safe. This is one of my most used lip liners of all time because of the shade Work of Art. The formula is more of a standard lip pencil. They do have a little bit of creaminess to them, but I would actually say they're quite a bit more on the stiffer side without being really drying. They're not quite as creamy as Mob Beauty. I would say they're probably pretty similar to like the Victoria Beckham, but the color Work of Art is just one of my all-time favorites. They describe it as a pinky taupe, but I think you'll see in the footage that it's quite a bit warmer on me. But either way, I don't really care because I love this when I want a warmer kind of nude lip liner shade. And actually the color totally transforms according to what light I'm in. And I think I have a couple different clips I can show you. Sometimes it looks a little bit warmer and peachy. Sometimes it looks a little bit more taupey. It's just a really good shade. And I feel like it's gonna work on so many different skin tones. I also have the color Fill Me In, which is quite a lighter pink shade, definitely too light and too bright for my personal preferences. And they finally expanded their shade range. They launched 3 new shades. shades. I bought the shade Paint My Number, which is a muted mauve, and I can't speak to it here because my package hasn't arrived yet, but I'll include some footage in the video so you can see what it looks like. They also launched Color Me Fine, which is a taupey brown, and Check Me Out, which is a warm rose. So I'm hoping to see some people do swatches online because I would definitely consider getting more. Not that I need any more lip liners at this point. I mean, dear God, I need less lip liners. I want less choice in my life, but be sure to follow me on Instagram. I always sell the products from my deep dive at a very discounted rate, or I'll just give away a lot of them. But tangent aside, the Tower 28 one-liners are a fantastic formula. I have a hard time describing them because they're like a little bit stiffer than most of the pencils I have, but not in a drying way, and it's really difficult for me to describe it. If you have a really good descriptor of the formula, let me know. They are my favorite Tower 28 product for a reason. We only have 3 more and then we're done. Okay, next I have the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Waterproof Lip Liner in Liar. These are $24 and the website says, part of the 24/7 family, our long-lasting waterproof lip liners glide on smoothly, stay creamy, and define your lips with gorgeous color. And unlike other lip pencils, we won't name names, 24/7 long-lasting lip liner never feels dry or cakey. Our best lip pencils infused with moisturizing vitamin E, jojoba oil, and cottonseed oil to nourish your lips every time you apply. I really like this formula. It's super creamy. It totally glides on easily. It's very pigmented, and then it sets, but not in a way that like tattoos the lips and can get kind of gummy. It just sets and feels more weightless on the lips. I think it's a really good product. I know it's been around for years and years and years. I also think that the shade Liar is a pretty good one for cool tone skin. And when I apply it all over the lips, you can see it's kind of like a plum mixed with a little bit of a brown, which is a really refreshing shade. I don't think I've seen another color like that in this video. So I totally get why Liar is such a tried and true favorite for so many of you. A lot of people suggested that I pick this up during the last Sephora sale. Just doing a quick lip topper with Lawless Posy because the Ilia lip sketch in Rhyme was starting to feel a little drying. Another lip pencil that is about to see the last of its days is the Victoria Beckham Lip Definer in 02. These are $30 and the website says, perfectly contoured lips meets comfortable waterproof wear. That's the essence of our Luxe Lip Definer. Luxury, precision, tug-free application, and waterproof longevity for fuller, more pronounced lips. Smoothing definition, potent peptides minimize the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Contoured color, enhance your natural lip color or boost performance for your go-to power lip shade. This is one of my all-time favorite lip liners, even though it isn't particularly innovative by any standard. It's like a classic lip pencil, but just a little bit creamier, and it's not even as creamy as the Mauve Beauty lip pencil. That's more of a classic one, but just upgraded. It's got a nice grip to it. It's not like ultra creamy, but it's also not drying. It's just a really good lip pencil texture, but I completely understand the feedback that people have said this is not interesting or innovative enough to warrant a $30 price tag. I totally get that. It's not budge proof. It does set a little bit, but if you like rubbed your finger over your lips, you're definitely gonna get some transfer. So I do understand that people just wanted better from a more luxury brand, but for my preferences, I freaking love the stuff. And the shade 02 is what I reach for when I'm doing a warm lip. It's on the peachier side for my skin tone, and I just think it's really nice. It never accentuates my lip lines. It doesn't feel overly drying. I just think it's a really good lip liner. That said, the shade 03 really disappointed me. It was definitely a lot deeper, and it was more of like a rosy plum shade. That one did feel a little bit more drying to me, and it did seem to emphasize texture on my lips a little bit more. Just looking at the footage here, I don't know, from memory, every time I try the shade 03, it always just felt a little bit more dry on my lips than shade 02, but I might be making that up. I have no idea. And lastly, we have the Vive Modern Lip Definer, and I got the shade Brat. It's $23, and the website says, whether you want to enhance your natural lip line or create the illusion of a fuller looking pout by overlining your lips, add volume and definition with Modern Lip Definer. Enriched with lip-loving ingredients such as jojoba seed oil and vitamin C and E, Modern Lip Definer softens and conditions the lips. The smooth and creamy lip liner formula glides onto the lips while the precision tip delivers depth and definition. So this formula goes on really, really creamy, and then it sets down almost immediately and does not budge, smudge, or transfer. As we already know, that's not really my kind of thing, but great if you want a long-lasting option. And this is totally waterproof. Like, it's a very, very long-wearing formula. It is, however, the kind of texture that can get a bit gummy if you overdo it. I have experienced that just a couple times. I don't love the shade Brat though, because it's described as a perfect pinky brown, but on me, I think you can see it's really more of a warm brown, but I can't lie, it's a beautiful formula and color. I know I said I was gonna talk about my favorites at the end of the video, but this just got way too long, so I'll leave all of my favorite products and shades in a pinned comment below. Wow, that was 4 hours of filming. If you appreciated this video, it took me months and months and months of of filming to get this done, and I filmed those B-roll clips over and over and over again because the lighting was just never right. So if you appreciated this video and you want to support the channel, you can either leave a comment, subscribe, or like the video, or you can use my affiliate links in the description box below if my video inspired you to make a purchase. I'll leave my K-beauty video on the screen for you to keep watching. I purchased over like 54 products from YesStyle. It's a really good baseline if you like affordable products, and wherever you are, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one.